Okay, these are just the key details for me for the week, just so I know what my main schedule is and any meetings and things that I have, so you don't have to worry too much about that. Okay, so in language this week, I want to start on Monday with a little mini lesson on graphic organizers. Now that the students are writing more, starting to get into maybe some story writing, and since they seem to be taking an interest in superheroes, and there can be an overlap with the superheroes topic in both social studies when it comes to responsibilities, as well as science and some of the stuff with structures, I thought it might be a good one. So I'll use it as a little mini lesson on Monday, and then hopefully some of the students will start to do some writing but also organizing of ideas using a graphic organizer. Also on Tuesday, we're looking at taking ideas from the graphic organizer and putting them together to formulate sentences, so how they can do that. And then Wednesday, since we try to do and work with a little bit of wonders on Wednesday, I thought we could look at some questioning when it comes to superheroes as well, and then maybe try to look at how we might go to answer the questions. And then Thursday, I want to look at creating a media text with an advertisement for the play, since we will be looking at performing the play on Thursday. Okay, so for shared writing, interactive writing, shared reading this week, it's kind of together. We're going to look at the review of the Big Bad Wolf play. This is the one that I'm hoping that we'll be able to put on Thursday to a class. I've asked one of the kindergarten classes that the students wanted. There is a drama connection as well. And we're looking at some work on both self-evaluation, setting some next steps and how we can achieve them. And also, what I'd like to do is have us for this week write an introduction. Maybe try to overlap it by getting it to a beat, something that would then tie in with the music, because the students really like writing songs. So it'd be neat to put the two ideas together and then read through it to practice it. And then we can still work on the next steps and stuff as well. So it becomes like a little tie into drama and reading and music, as well as writing. So for math this week on Monday, we're looking at Math Talk Mondays. And I'm going to look at getting a photograph of some people doing art. I'm creating props because I want to move us into making props for the play, so they can kind of take what they've learned and make it into props, and we can look at things like often shapes and stuff fall in and line and patterns and everything else. So it can be a nice little overlap for us as well as reviewing some of the main concepts. And then on Tuesday, I wanted us to look at creating structures for the kitchen in the place. So we're going to pretend that it's in a kitchen, because that seems to work well by the nature of the play itself. So what are some structures that would be in a kitchen, and what could we use in the classroom in order to make those structures? And what 3D figures might be included, what would be some of the shapes, how many, so we can kind of into some of the counting concepts and things as well. And then on Wednesday, I want to actually look at creating some 3D figures. Now that we've taken a closer look at the shapes involved and been playing around with the 3D figures themselves, I'd like to look at how we can make them. So putting out a variety of different materials that students can use to actually create those figures, some of which would be a little bit easier to use than others, and starting to look closely at some of the shapes involved in those figures as well. And then on Thursday, part of the time would be spent performing the play. And then when we're done that, because it's a really short play, I'd like to look at taking photographs of some different structures. Hopefully the weather will be good and we can go outside. If not, then just looking within the classroom and the pod area, maybe some of the school, and looking closely at the 2D, 3D figures and 2D shapes that are in them, but also looking at the use of symmetry. So what does symmetry mean? And we kind of introduced it a while ago once when it came up as part of art. So looking back at that concept and why symmetry might be used when creating different structures, and what happens if it's not used. Are there any problems with that? Would it depend on the nature of the materials? So there could be some nice science tie-ins as well as math. And then just to kind of review the concept of money, and it seemed to work well, and I know the students even just as we were tying up this week, like the idea of singing the song with Canada in My Pocket, but also looking at combining coin amounts to make different values up to 20 cents. So kind of playing this little coin tag, which will work a little bit with addition and skip counting and getting to the different money amounts. So we can look at that this week as well.